Oh.
Halo Outreach Podcast to keep you up to date with everything going on in Halo.
What is going on, fellow Halo fans? I'm your boy Patman here with my co-host KevinKoolx, and we are back for number 18, episode 18 of the Halo Outreach Podcast. We have plenty of awesome topics to talk about today, including the Reach PC release date announcement. Me and Kevin are going to talk about that for a little bit. Also, a flighting update from Postums that details a lot of issues that are still currently in game. We'll talk about the launch of Reach coming out and what kind of issues we may expect at launch still. Another new Infinite Audio Instagram post from 343, which is some pretty cool noises. We're going to dive into that, give you our opinions on that. Halo's 18 years old over this weekend, so we're going to talk about that, share some memories from Halo CE, and also talk about DreamHack Atlanta, and of course, Twitch Rivals and the playlist updates to end the show, among other things. So this is a jam-packed episode. We have a lot to talk about, but first, Kevin, how the hell are you?
Doing well, man. Yeah, I'm excited to get another episode in, episode 18. We're getting close to almost half a year of podcast.
Yeah,
We haven't missed a single week yet, which is pretty crazy to think about. You know, with you and I both having busy schedules, and you know, we have lives outside of gaming. Be able to do this consistently is pretty damn awesome. Pretty excited about that.
Not to mention being on the other side of the country from each other. It's hard to coordinate everything.
And also, I have fruit flies in my damn room right now. So if you see me swatting things, can't get away from it.
SWAT.
SWAT. Well, yeah. So, Pat, what you been up to this week? What you been playing?
Playing Halo. Just making a lot of videos. Had a lot of stuff going on this week. Busy. A lot of news pouring out of XO19. So I've been covering that, and kind of been stalking Jedi Fallen Order, seeing the reviews, seeing how it is, because I've been teeter-tottering between getting it or not. What about you? What have you been doing?
Obviously, besides streaming the Reach Flight program on Tuesday and Thursday, made some videos and stuff like that. Made a video talking about kind of what we kind of touched on in the last podcast about the whole Captain Keyes casting. Some people have their own opinions about that, so I kind of shared my opinion on the whole matter as well, which I was kind of proud about that video, because I thought I did a pretty good analysis of the whole thing, trying to bring up, obviously, like, it's a topic I could have gone like an hour into if I really wanted to dive deep into it,
Right.
But for the sake of my sanity, and also I tried doing it the night before release, releasing that video in the year to get to bed before work. I did the best I could. Other than that, I've still been playing a little bit more of that Modern Warfare multiplayer. I've actually really kind of starting to like Ground War. It's probably my favorite mode. That, and probably actually TDM, which I haven't really liked TDM at all in Call of Duty. Usually I just find it too slow. It's campy. There's really no motivation to move throughout the map besides getting like advantages in gunfights. That's why I like playing Slayer in Halo so much, because you got those power weapons and pickups that kind of help create more movement. The game's much faster paced. But I'm really kind of liking TDM in that game, and domination, and a little bit of domination, but mainly Ground War, just because obviously the gameplay is so slow right now with how campy people play the game, that Ground War kind of helps alleviate that issue. I'll just add 30 more people on the map, no problem.
Right.
That's about it on my end of gaming stuff. Just a bunch of Reach Flight and a little bit of Call of Duty. How about you? No, any games?
Nothing new really. Reach Flight. Woke up early to play some Reach with you. We're probably gonna play some Reach after the podcast if Kevin is available. So that will be fun. It ends Monday for anybody. If you're already listening to the podcast on Kevin's channel, it'll be too late. So this is the last weekend of the flight, so we got to get some time in with it, and we can get right into the big news, which is December 3rd. That is the release date for Reach on PC and on Xbox. So that is really exciting. This was announced at XO18 or XO19. I'm sorry, because it's 2019. XO19 in London. Yeah, sounds about right. In London, England, which was a big conference. They announced a lot of new stuff, like concerning xCloud. Rare announced a new game that they're working on, which looked beautiful. I don't know if you caught any of the new game, and I think Obsidian even announced a new game, and they just came out. Yeah, they just came out with Outer Worlds. So
was it?
Yeah, it's called Grounded. Yeah,
which and interesting take on that. Aspect, to change the aspect ratio of the world right there. Just bring it down to an ant size.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very surprising, the announcements that came out of there, which was cool. And
it's a lot more than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting
to be exactly.
Like, you know what's great about Xbox? Game Pass. It's only $1 for just today, kind of thing. But they actually announced a lot of games. A lot of games that never been. It was basically their own version of E3.
Yeah, it was like a mini E3, which we didn't get no new Infinite news, which I didn't expect anything, but I do expect something by the end of the year, like we've talked about for Infinite, some sort of announcement or 343 stream as like a Christmas present to the community. But yeah, December 3rd, just kind of dropped the bomb. The flight ends the 18th. A couple weeks later, we're going to be playing the full release of Reach. So, what are your thoughts on that announcement?
Excited about it. Can't wait to get my hands on some Halo Reach, especially since I have Game Pass Ultimate. I can play on Xbox or PC, and it works totally fine. Either way.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to play that campaign on PC. That's for sure. Probably be sticking the multiplayer on console. To be honest, I feel like because there still is a little bit of that. The mouse controls still feel a little bit off, which you mentioned in the update that Postman's put up about the flighting, kind of bringing up the different issues that are going on right now with Flight 3. We'll kind of scroll through the outline of it. Wait, now that is the wrong one. No, that's the right one. Yeah, talking about like adding push to talk, the VSync issues. Menu crashes, input delay with mouse and keyboard, controller aim assist versus PC, no aim assist, concerns about locking the frame rate at 60 FPS, audio issues, server latency. So some rather large issues right there, but I think a lot of these issues are kind of more smaller issues, and I feel like they're not really impacting everybody besides like the mouse input and the locking frame rate at 60 FPS. Which
I kind of want to actually dive deeper into these issues because I actually just did a video on this. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. But number one, the input delay issues, like they definitely feel better after the fix, the patch that they did.
Definitely feels better
mid-flight. Yeah, exactly. And they're working on further fixes. I wanted to hammer down on two things, actually three things: the controller aim assist, the locked frame rate at 60 FPS, and the server latency issues. So the controller aim assist, they mentioned that a lot of people are saying it's really high, but they said they currently do not plan to make changes, which it should be in line with the console version. And they noted that if they do make changes, that it basically eliminates the possibility of crossplay between Xbox and PC. So that is huge. That is a huge factor. If people are going to complain about this aim assist, I understand. Right now, I think controller has the upper hand when it comes to PC, just because the mouse input isn't exactly feeling right. But if they finally nail that down, I think a lot of the complaining about aim assist will go away, because mouse and keyboard is the superior way to play FPSs on PC. If they do make these changes and we eliminate the possibility of crossplay, that's a huge thing. I don't want that to happen. I really think for the betterness of the community that we should have crossplay. I think that's the future. I think Modern Warfare does it really well, where, hey, if you're playing on controller, you can choose controller. And they even mentioned that. They said they've heard from the community about a suggested opt-in program, and they're discussing it internally about splitting the player base like that. But still, that would be a cool thing. If you're on controller, then you play other PC players using controller. If you're on mouse and keyboard, then you play other players using mouse and keyboard. So If the population allows for it, I think that's huge, especially with Infinite going forward. This would be a good stepping stone for crossplay, and I don't see any negatives to crossplay. I think Modern Warfare has shown that. Besides my gripes with that game, I think they handled that perfectly. Fortnite does a great job with that.
Mhm.
Now, one concern I do have is the locked frame rate at 60 frames, and it's unclear whether this is going to be something at launch or not. They just said that they're currently investigating and working on fundamental improvements. When they have a solution that meets their quality standards, they will release it in a flight prior to releasing it more broadly. And that's all they say about it. They don't say, "Hey, this flight's going to happen before launch or after launch." They do mention later on in that post that there will be flights after launch that will, before they update the game, they'll push it out in a flight to test these.
Mhm.
I think personally, and I want to get your opinions on it too. I think if the game launches at 60 frames per second locked on PC, that is a major fail, because I know for a fact that the PC community demands more than 60 frames for, especially for a 10-year-old game. I think a lot of people will be disappointed in it. And you can see in the Twitter comment section, they're all asking Postums, does this mean at launch we're not going to be able to play at 60 above 60 frames? Most people have 144 hertz monitor, some even higher than that. And that I think would be a big uproar from the PC community. Me and you being console players, I mean, dude, that it's already double the frame rate of what we're used to from Reach. It feels
Yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
like it feels great already. But I think from a PC standpoint, I think they would demand more than that. What do you think?
Well, I think the PC standard, it's probably gone up a little bit now, but from my experience, like the PC golden standard's always been 1080p, 60 FPS. That's what it was
Mhm.
back in like pre Xbox One days, back in the Xbox 360 days. Even before that, 1080p, 60 FPS was kind of the PC golden standard. And I think as
Mhm.
long as you can kind of accomplish that, I think then honestly, I honestly think it'd be a fine to release, in my opinion. Since people are so thirsty to play Reach on PC and on MCC, that they just want, at this point, I think that's more kind of like not necessarily a game blocking issue to stop the game from releasing and not be able to go above 60 FPS. And there are even some games out there on PC to this day that still can't really do well on 60 beyond 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Like I know Skyrim, for example, once you go above 60, the physics of that game gets super weird and things get,
Mhm.
it's weird things start happening, and which doesn't really doesn't really happen much on Reach. It's really more just like input latency. It's what kind of increases at the higher frame rate you go. So they're kind of looking into investigating that. And yeah, I think as long as you can get the 1080p 60 FPS, then I think honestly you're fine to release the game. No game ever releases perfectly.
No,
Freaking
not
fruit
nowadays.
flies. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Modern Warfare, for example, has I think still has a bug where it comes in where like it doesn't track your kills or your stats for your challenges. You have to restart your console or whatever to get that to work. Like if that happens now, if that dev team was as open as 343 is, you think people would be crying for them to kind of delay the game? Maybe.
Right.
Or like if you can barely maintain 60 FPS in Ground War playing on the Xbox One, do you think people would be crying to delay that game? Probably. But people's no game releases perfectly. They're still looking to do work beyond the release to get the game to exactly what people are wanting when it comes to Reach. But I think they at least reached the gold standard, I think, of what they need to accomplish. I think they already got that with this flight. The stability is good. As we saw in Twitch Rivals as well, like nobody had any crashes or anything like that. Actually, almost all my crashes have been resolved. Like I streamed on Tuesday and Thursday. I don't think I had one crash in between
Mhm.
games, which usually when my game kind of crashes. So that was resolved. The menu issue has been resolved as well. So I think the only thing is more just kind of like the bells and whistles that a lot of PC gamers expect to have might be coming in at a later date.
Right.
But I think as long as you get that 60 FPS 1080p, I think you're fine.
Okay. And I disagree. I think that which a lot of I've seen a lot of Twitter comments saying, wow, like no variable refresh rate. like what 60 frames that is unacceptable on PC nowadays, especially for a 10-year-old game. Like I get your point about Skyrim, but that's not a FPS. FPSs that's where they make their bread and butter. Like CS:GO, you play that. So a lot of people play that game at like 200, 250 frames per second. If you're gonna have a competitive shooter, I think that's key. From a console standpoint, if the console version is on par, which it is because the One X and the Xbox One original model, that will play it at 60 frames. They both play it at 60 frames. If the console version is on par with the PC version, I think a lot of PC elitists will be upset about it. Personally, like I'm not upset about it. I don't give a damn. I am a console player anyways, first and foremost, and this is double the frame rate of what I'm used to that Reach already was. I can't even go back and play the old Reaches.
Yeah, you really can.
Like, yeah, 720, 30 frames is like...
weird ass motion blur.
Yeah, and the motion blur on top of that. Yeah, exactly. So, like, this is a huge upgrade personally for me, but I think the PC community in general will be kind of disappointed. I don't think it's, like you said, it's not game breaking, but a lot of people are already tweeting at I've been reading, and he hasn't responded to any of them about.
He's getting like what, 1 million tweets a day talking about
he
this
is,
now,
He is, but he usually does a really good job of maybe he's going to see like what he can actually talk about, because usually he does a really good job of responding to people. But there's been a lot of comments saying like, whoa, what's going on with variable refresh, especially because it was already available in the flight, but then they took it away to kind of basically test their input latency issues and take that away to eliminate one more problem, because a lot of people are reporting higher frame rates means that more input latency. So they took it away. And like I said, we'll find out if that's even something that's not going to be available at launch or not. It's kind of unclear. Of course, me and your boy KevinKoolx got to keep you guys updated if there is any new news on that. So
it's kind of what we do.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing, you know.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to touch on real quick before we move on to the next topic was the server latency. And a lot of people, especially over in the UK and Australia, things like that, were reporting really high, certainly server latency issues. And to help address this, 343 has said that they're planning to upgrade the servers used for launch. So that's really good news. Hopefully that fixes, the server latency issues. But that is awesome news that they've decided to upgrade the servers. I think they upgraded the servers already to 60 hertz tick rate, and that's a huge thing for MCC. And I'm excited to see how that affects the game come December 3rd. Even in the US, we've had minor server latency issues. That you see a little delay in like throwing grenades and hit detection and things like that. But I heard it's really bad in the UK, and like UberNix complained about it several times. So we'll have to see how that ends up. But that's nothing but good news. So those were like the three major points I wanted to make about the update to the flight.
Yeah,
or actually to the launch game, I should say.
I will say too, I've seen some of Nick's streams and going like, yeah, that's some pretty solid lag that where I'd only be playing it just to play it rather than actually like genuinely enjoy it,
Right. Yeah.
And so hopefully, for the overseas people that they get that issue figured out a little bit right there. But I guess that's about. I mean, I still think. And also, I've seen some people like on Twitter as well kind of mention like, "What's the update now? Like, what's gonna be confirmed for release?" And then it's like, dude, we have 3 weeks until release, right?
Right. Dude, a lot can change in those 3 weeks.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, they can't really confirm anything of what's going to be available at launch until probably like the Thursday or Friday before the Tuesday release on December 3rd.
Yeah.
So, because like they said, basically, like always said, it's ready when it's ready. Well, it's ready. Yeah, pretty well. I might need a little. Might need to test with with a toothpick in the bread. The kind of test like, oh, there's still a little dough left on that, but it's good to go.
Exactly.
That's kind of what they're at right now. We're like, it's good. Just serve it. It's fine. No one's gonna. Your average guy's not gonna complain about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess we're ready to go to the next topic about the Halo Infinite audio recording stuff.
Yes, let's talk about some new Infinite news.
What's that all about, Pete?
So 343 has been pretty active on Instagram. Every couple of weeks or so, they do a new field recording from their audio team, showcasing sounds that they're going to be using in Halo Infinite. Me and Kevin have covered this before on the podcast. We've talked about it. Kevin's done a video on it. I'll probably do a video on it soon when I do like a whole compilation of all these audio recordings. But so far, we've had Gyoza, the pug, who's made some pretty interesting sounds that me and Kevin can agree sounds maybe like some flood noises. Who knows? This is all speculation. We saw them do something with explosions, like underwater, sniper shots, also a helicopter, which we talked about maybe could be the Falcon returning. Sounds very much like a Falcon. And now, yeah, please, because it's like my favorite vehicle in Halo history. And now we have some really cool noises that I'm getting like a ghost or banshee vibe. Like sounds like some sort of vehicle to me. And Kevin will show you guys on stream, what it is.
We'll play this on stream right here. I'm gonna up my webcam real quick. All right, we'll play the audio right here, and I'll let you know when we're ready to go. Stop. Oh, damn it.
Mine started looping again.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So pretty cool stuff right there.
Yeah, cool with the K.
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
Let's see if I can check it out. I want to read what they kind of mentioned about. Okay, yeah. So they said that the audio team found some of these specialized microphones in Area 51. I'm guessing they're probably making a joke about the Area 51 raid.
Could be a joke, could not be. Who knows?
Never know. So they used them to pick up the electromagnetic fields emitting from Xbox consoles. By applying some light processing in the sound design environment, they were able to recreate some interesting sci-fi textures. So how much processing actually happened, don't know, obviously. I'm assuming if they say light, I mean, maybe they might put like a little bit of twinges or clingy, clangy sounds to it to kind of in like some post-processing stuff, but pretty cool. It's pretty cool you get that kind of like audio from just electromagnetic microphones, which I didn't even know were like an actual thing.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So you're saying they kind of make you think of like maybe like some Covenant vehicles or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like certain sounds sounded like the Covenant boost, like a boost of a vehicle, like a ghost or something, or even like a certain sound like a vehicle powering down. It was like, like I thought that sounded really cool. I mean, it could be even like Promethean noises. Who knows? There's a lot of very mechanical sounds in there. All speculation, you know. What do you think?
I think it's definitely along the same lines too. Definitely, or maybe it's like Covenant weapons, things like that. Like anything Covenant, I think, you can apply these audio sounds to. Just to me, to screams Covenant technology when I hear these different like audio sounds. It's just so cool that you're able to record magnetic waves into an audio format, and that's what it sounds like coming from an Xbox console. It's just crazy. So definitely we'll be here. We'll see. It'll be actually really interesting. Like after when Infinite releases, if we like hear different audio happen in the game, we're like, oh wait, that's from the Instagram post. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah,
exactly.
You know. Oh, that's
and at this point we're like, at this point we're like over analyzing everything because it's like the only Infinite news we've gotten really. So it's like this is like going to be fresh in our brains for a while now. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking out for those sounds.
It's just one of those things. Just makes me think of like that Spider-Man meme with the camera. It just goes neat.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I feel about this post. Like, that's really not much else to really dig into on that. It's going to be in Halo Infinite. It's an Xbox. That sounds like a weird Covenant things.
Yeah,
that's all I can really speculate on that. I guess we would go on to the next topic then.
Yeah. Halo Combat Evolved is now officially an adult. 18 years old, allowed to move out of mom and pop's basement. Oh yeah, yeah. There's some funny memes of Halo being 18.
Oh god, I've seen the casting couch.
The casting couch one I sent to all my friends. Man, it was so funny. So I heard you're 18 now. Welcome. But yeah, Halo's 18 years old. We figured we'd go through some of our initial Halo memories from Halo Combat Evolved. I'll share mine first. So my very first experience with Halo CE, I remember my uncle, he was a huge GoldenEye fan, and he's wanted an Xbox so bad. And my dad had a buddy at Target that worked at Target, and basically there was the last Xbox they had in stock. And this lady was like arguing with the guy, and he's like, he saw my dad in line. He's like, dude, come up here. He's like, hang on, honey, I'm gonna go grab my manager, see what he could do for you. She wanted the Xbox, but she was complaining about something. And he told my dad, he's like, dude, do you want this Xbox? He's like, it's the last one I got. My dad's like, yeah, dude, like that's what I'm waiting in line for. He's like, all right, cool. Sold it to him because they went to high school together or whatever. And my uncle calls my dad because my dad's picking it up from my uncle, and he's like, dude, did you get one? He's like, no, dude, they're sold out everywhere. He's like, oh man. He's like, he was I went with my dad to pick it up, and my uncle's literally runs down the street when he comes, when he sees us. He's on the phone with my dad on his cell phone, and he's like, dude, did you get one? My dad's like, no, man, they were sold out. He's like, oh man, he's like, come on, get in the car, we'll drive back to the house. He drives back to the house, he opens up the trunk, he's like, oh, I got one, dude. Come on. And he's like, dude, I freaking love you, man. I freaking love you. He's like, did you get Halo? Did you get Halo? She's like, I played it. I played the demo at the store. He's like, dude, you got to see these graphics. You can see the cracks in the ice when you're playing missions and stuff. Like, the graphics are insane, man. This. And my dad's like, yeah, I got Halo. And I remember just sitting in the basement. My dad had like the man cave in the basement, and watching them play co-op campaign. And them laugh their ass off for hours and hours. And that was like my first experience with Halo. And I was like, well, that was 2001. So I was 9 years old at the time. So my dad wasn't really comfortable letting me play Halo just yet. But like a year later, magic number 10, he let me start playing it. And yeah, I haven't turned back since. Loved the game. But that was my first memory, just watching co-op campaign and watching them just laugh so hard, killing each other, just the wonky stuff that only happens in Halo, and that's what makes it so special.
The Warhog physics.
Oh my god, the physics are so funny.
Oh gosh. Yeah. The first time I played Halo, I think it was on Christmas Eve or something like that. I remember when like the Xbox console was coming out. I told my dad, my brother and I both wanted to get the Xbox console for Christmas. And so then my dad just, knowing that that's like the only thing we wanted, and it's like a combined gift for the two of us. He's like, oh, two birds, one stone kind of thing. He goes in and gets the Xbox, and then I'm guessing when he was at GameStop or something like that, and he asked the guy, he's like, what's the gotta have game for the Xbox? And the guy goes, oh, Halo. You gotta get Halo, dude.
Killer app, baby. And
so then, opening it up on, I think it was Christmas Eve, I think I spent with my dad. Then open it up and just be like, hey. I was like the Nintendo 64 kid. I was like, Xbox.
Yeah.
So super excited about that. So the first time ever playing was definitely doing co-op split screen with my brother in the campaign, and just having just a ton of fun doing that. That's kind of like and then again, like you said, I haven't looked back since. Ever since those co-op campaign days with my brother, just on the original Xbox. Just good times, man. Just good times.
Oh yeah.
And then the sequential, or what you want to call it, the following like I say, like then we started doing like lands at my house. You know, basically just doing CTF Blood Gulch, and that was about it. With my friends, just doing system linking. People bring their TVs over. We had like our little like link hub where like you connect like the Ethernet cables to it and stuff like that. And we just thought it was just like the coolest thing ever. And just CTF Blood Gulch just nonstop. Sometimes play like Rat Race Slayer, just to mix it up from after playing like 2 hours straight of just CTF Blood Gulch, and then jumping right back into CTF Blood Gulch. We're like, yeah, that wasn't as fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's this crazy thing too. Like back then, 18 years ago, CE, those were good graphics. You know?
Yeah, they were amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look as good on the MCC as it does in the original because there's some like bump mapping issues with the textures and stuff like that, and the lighting makes it look not as good on the MCC version because like that's the Gearbox PC port, which got some visual downgrades.
Yeah.
But the original Xbox version does look pretty awesome, which I heard that they are looking to possibly fix that stuff, but since it's like a game-wide thing that they're going to probably go with like a fine-tooth comb over all the textures and stuff like that, they might not get to the bump mapping kind of issue that's going on with the MCC version of CE. But if they can, they will. But it's on the radar, at least they know about it. But
yeah, they're aware of it.
18 years ago, playing Combat Evolved, and 18 years later, still playing Halo.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies, man.
But Halo's always been gaming to me, man. Like Halo's always been my favorite shooter, except during the Halo 4 era. But that's only a 2-year downfall right there. Yeah, man. Like pretty much right up until 2009, I really only ever played Halo for like my games. Okay, with occasional like single player games mixed in there as well. But like if I ever want to play multiplayer, Halo was the one to play.
Yeah, I've never invested more time in this series than Halo for sure. It's like right up. It's either my number 1 or number 2 like series. Thank you, Zero. Zelda being like really close. Zelda and Halo are like my 2 babies, but Halo, just obviously the multiplayer just keeps me coming back for more. I'm still playing Halo 5 to this day over other shooters. You know, I dabble in everything when it comes out. Call of Duties, Rainbow Six, Siege, Overwatch, dabbled in all that, but none of those are on my hard drive anymore. Halo's still on my hard drive, and we still even play MCC together. You know, like these old games that are still to this day like right up there with the top shooters. So yeah, it's awesome. Love Halo.
Yeah. And so I guess that's everything about the birthday of CE. Got a little bit of a backstory of what's going on. How we got to come in love with the franchise there. I guess move over to HCS Atlanta that's going on right now as the time of this recording.
Yeah, take it away, Kevin. You're the pro circuit sweat kind of guy. So.
But,
take away HCS Dreamhack.
Yeah, at the time of this recording, guys, we have HCS Atlanta Dreamhack going on right now. The top teams in Halo going at it in Halo 3 and Halo 5 2v2 as well to boot on top of that. Just kind of going over some of the standings as of now. We're recording this on Saturday night. This kind of playing out to how I thought I was thinking it was going to play out. Let's go back here because I got a nice little bracket lined up for you guys here of exactly how things are lining up. We actually did have a couple of YouTubers actually involved with that Halo 5 2v2, which it was Proximity and his friend, I think Samaritan, and then you had Reclaimer and remember the other person's name. Someone else. Oh, Dallas, Big Texas. If you've seen him on YouTube or Twitch or something like that, they were in this event. If you guys remember from the last Halo 5 2v2, that Proximity and Reclaimer were teamed up together. They finished 4th in that 2v2, and then this one they decided to split up, get their own teams. They actually both lost in losers round 3, so now I think they're officially out of the tournament right now. So not the best showing from them. We're like not as good as last time, but still able to defeat some teams, make it put a little bit, make some waves all that good stuff right there. But let's see if we can find the here. I recently have about see what teams are doing well. I know Tox is the favorite, I'd say, still with this event, even though they finished third the previous HCS event. But I think it's because they were a little under practiced for the whole thing. But the two teams to definitely look out for were certainly Tox and Lux, and those two teams are certainly putting in their work. You can check out the bracket right now. I finally brought it up. I was kind of just delaying and talking until I brought this damn bracket up. You can see.
Shh! Don't tell them the secret.
You can see the champion bracket set up right here. As you can see, for the winners for Sunday, we have Tox and Lux, which I was kind of assuming those two were going to go at it. I was kind of hoping for Mantra, which have like Snipe Down, Pistola, Ace, and let's see if I can actually have that down here. Was it an Eco from the Splice team, the 5 Splice team? Looks like they were actually 3-0'd by Mantra, which is actually rather surprising. I thought they would put or 3-0'd by Lux, I should say. So it's kind of expecting a bit of a fight, but yeah, like the champion bracket right here, it's just been 3-0s everywhere you go. So it's just Lux and Tox, man. They're just the two forces to be reckoned with right now. Now, basically, if you guys don't know how this whole thing, and also so the winners finals, we have Tux and Lux going at it. Lux going at it, and whoever wins that goes into the grand final. Whoever loses that goes into the losers semifinal. If you can kind of see right over here. So basically, whoever wins this losers semifinals gets placed into the grand final and plays against either Lux or Tox. Whoever wins that one. My guess, the whole thing is that we'll see Mantra defeat Chaotic, moving to the semifinals. Then my guess will probably be Simplicity Esports, probably over Infinite, having them go at it again. Did they go at it again? No, that was a different roster. But so like I mentioned about Mantra's roster, Simplicity's roster, if you kind of like check it out here, has Straight Sick, Aries, Fantasy, and Shelly, who are also very, very good players. So that's gonna be definitely probably one of the better matches to watch. I think we probably see some back and forth because really there's been a lot of 3-0s, as you can see throughout this entire event. There's some 3-2s, but like it's been pretty one-sided most of the matches here. And so I would still just kind of I'm still pulling for Mantra to kind of pull off the win on that one, get themselves into the grand final against Tox. And then I'm thinking Tox might walk away with the win on this one for the whole thing. Because Tox, they were not happy about their third place finish in the previous event. And they spent a lot of time practicing, getting a really high seeding when it came to the placement matches. Because previously, I think they placed like 5th or 6th because they just didn't really take it that seriously. A lot of high-end pro teams don't really take the placement matches too seriously because playing online compared to playing LAN are two completely different things.
Yeah.
And so they thought, okay, well, we're going to try our damnedest this time, get a real high seeding, smack all the nubs until we get to the finals, and then actually get some actual competition, because that's pretty much how Tox rolls. And so their plan of attack in this event is definitely playing out in their favor, which they've 3-0'd everybody, haven't even dropped a game, which is crazy. So I'm still thinking Tox is probably going to walk away with this one. It's more of a battle of who's going to finish in second place, Mantra, Simplicity, or Lux. That's what I'm thinking right there. Yeah, that's kind of my take on the whole thing. I did see on Twitter that there were actually quite a bit of technical difficulties with this event as well. A lot of the pros complaining about some input latency happening with their controllers, with the Xboxes and the systems, whatever they were using. They kind of mentioned like some little hacks. So if you unplug, replug your controller, then it's all gone and it fixed itself, kind of thing. And then so I did see some things about that online, talking about that kind of stuff. I heard that even like I think if Royal 2 even mentioned about like playing through the preview screen on OBS or something like that. He mentioned to kind of reduce like the input latency. Something about the setups that they had are kind of messed up on the players and things. I saw a lot of complaints like that online. But hopefully by the time tomorrow, things are kind of figured out. So then we won't complain about technological issues with that whole thing. And also, if I do remember correctly, there's supposed to be a big announcement. I'm assuming probably after the finals, when the viewership is going to be the highest. they'll probably go to the cut to the board. Tasha will probably make some big announcement. My guess is probably their plan for the grassroots program moving forward, about how they're probably mention some new. No, Dark Source says no in the chat. So not going to be a big announcement at DreamHack. I thought there was from the HCS team. I thought there was, because it was going to be mentioned probably about the grassroots content creators program, how what that's going to be looking like moving forward. Oh, yeah. And also probably maybe even mention some like tournament people as well, but what tournaments they'll be holding on and stuff like that. Yeah, Dark, they haven't really, I do remember hearing something about that. It was a while ago. They haven't really like advertised it a whole lot, because I'm sure they kind of wanted to be a little bit of a surprise. But that's my anticipation, that after the finals will probably make some kind of announcement about the HCS moving forward and stuff like that, or maybe just reiterate their plan, what they mentioned on Waypoint, just because not everyone goes on Waypoint and reads articles like Pat and I do, or even then watches YouTube. And so you got that to look forward to. Tomorrow, probably another Talks Championship win. Big surprise. I guess the next thing we can probably go into then is going into Anchor Point in Halo 5.
Yes, Anchor Point. What is Anchor Point? Oh, yeah, we covered that. What was that last podcast?
Last
or maybe
podcast
that episode before that.
Okay, last podcast we talked about that.
Which was a deleted map in Halo 2 that Vic De Leon tweeted out. De Leon tweeted out that was a cut map from Halo 2. And Kevin's going to show off a remake in Forge in Halo 5 that a lovely fan, of course, has remade, and it's pretty freaking cool looking. So
yeah, I saw this.
Do I need to?
No, I got it. Don't worry about it. So I saw this retweeted from Vic. He was just saying like, he's like, what, in like 2 days later, after like a week later after posting this, like 3 screenshots of the map or whatever, someone went ahead in Halo 5's Forge and recreated that exact map right here. As you can see, like pretty much like these are matching. He even like copied like the exact same angles that Vic took of the map as well. As you can see, it's very reminiscent of the Halo 2 mission. Obviously not like exactly copied, because obviously in doing it is much more geometrical, as in like, as we all know in Forge, doing like rounded curved sides are not exactly the easiest thing, but pretty damn close recreation, I'd say, right here. So it's kind of cool to see like these screenshots in 1080p, so you can actually get a much more clear image of what Vic's map was looking like. It looks like it's kind of, it said it was very focused like on vehicle play from Banshees, and so, but you can also see like there are some platforms and stuff like that you can move around with, walking around as a character, if you like, say your Banshee got blown up, or if you want to grab some power weapon or something like that. Sorry, well, a little spit there in the wrong way. I even created a YouTube video here. I'm gonna do a quick little fly through of the entire thing and kind of get a better view of the map as a whole. But pretty awesome stuff to check out. I mean, I think obviously since Halo does have some pretty awesome aerial vehicles, that it would be interesting to see if there was like a very like aerial vehicle focused map in Halo 5's Halo's multiplayer as a whole. Like, how do you think that would play out, Pat, with like an aerial vehicle map?
Yeah, I mean, it's different, so that would be cool. I'm always down for new ways to play Halo. The map just looks very different, very wonky, but obviously it was something cut, probably unfinished.
Big did say the map played like garbage.
So it's a good thing it didn't ship, but I just love the community and the passion behind it. Like he said, like 48 hours later, somebody made it. But I'd be down to, maybe we can content browser that and search it up and try it out, see how it plays.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm sure people make some cool game modes, vehicle based wise for it. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, this map would definitely play a lot better if you're just playing like 4v4 Banshees or something like that. Like kind of reminiscent of like what in the Battlefield series. I remember in 3, also I think also put in 4 as well. They had air superiority was what the game mode was called, where basically you spawn in a jet or a helicopter or something like that, and it just jet v jet gameplay, helicopter v helicopter gameplay, which is actually would be something I think Halo could totally pull off, because we have various different, especially in Halo 5, all the different types of aerial vehicles you can play around with. That it'd be kind of cool to maybe like if you could spawn in with like your vehicle that you would like to, like sometimes may say like, yeah, I like to play as a wasp, but then that makes you super vulnerable to damage, but you're super mobile, or if they play with a banshee or even a falcon or something like that, just kind of have some fun with it. I can understand why this map was cut, since it's, yeah, you can definitely tell by the way the map is designed. The pathing isn't really existent. You have like very linear paths. Or basically, if you're walking down those paths, it was a death trap, because there's nowhere else to go. You'd be dead.
Yeah. But then again, if it's just like vehicle based, like what the hell is the point of the map? Then you could just have an empty map just flying through the air,
I can say,
like, yeah.
And I can see why the map was cut, because like if you're going in a 4v4 map style, like they very much more 4v4 maps are very focused on just like gunplay, or maybe there's some vehicles, maybe like a Warthog or a Ghost is thrown there for random for to lols. But like you can definitely tell on this map, like a Banshee would just dominate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it'd be kind of cool if you had like 4v4 Banshees, and maybe if your Banshee blows up and you find a way to land on the platforms down below, there might be like Spartan lasers or rockets or plasma pistols, like some way to kind of like counter that. So there might be different ways you can play it, where like the main idea is to play in a Banshee or air vehicle, but then you can also play on the ground if you want, to be more supporting role kind of thing, or if you can't get kills on people who also are on the platform. So it's definitely an interesting take. I would love to see like a air superiority like game mode come into Halo. That'd be pretty sweet. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool. Yeah.
I understand why it's cut, because it doesn't really fit into your standard 4v4 game modes.
Yeah, definitely not, especially for Halo 2.
I guess we're ready to get into the next content of the stream here.
Yes, Twitch Rivals and the results. Yeah, yes. This was a huge event that was that we can expect more of probably in the future, with each subsequent release of each game on MCC on PC. But they did a big stream with some pro players and big streamers on teams, and it was a lot. Do you know how many different teams? It was a lot, but there was a lot of production value in this. Very entertaining to watch. They did like a split screen option where there was a bunch of different streamers on screen at the same time. Then they would switch to full screen to each streamer streaming from their wherever they're playing, at the comfort of their own home. So that was really cool. It was just like think of it like, I don't know if anybody watches football, like the NFL red zone, when somebody's close to scoring, like it switches to them. It was really cool how it just flawlessly switched between streamers. Was a really cool thing, and I love the production value. Me and Kevin got to catch some of it. We are busy people, so we weren't able to watch like the full thing, but initial thoughts were I definitely want to see more of this in the future. I think it was a really cool event that they planned. And it was kind of out of nowhere. They're just like, hey, by the way, we're doing this event like next week, so be ready.
On a flight build of Reach as well on top of that. So that's,
not the full release, yeah.
And surprisingly, the flight build played well. I didn't notice any crashes. It held up. Like I was it happened at like 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I was at work, but I was listening in at least, and like maybe catching some kind of opening the screen up a little bit and catching a little bit before like my boss comes in or something like that, But like it was really cool, because basically they had each team, there was 4 different teams. Each team was comprised of, I think, of 3 pros, current or former pros, and then 1 amateur player, I guess you can call it, like a pro-am kind of thing you see like happen in golf or something. But each team had their own amateur player. One of them notably was Summit 1G, who was like one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. Awesome to see him get involved with the whole thing. Legion, another person involved with that. He usually averages around like 300 to 500 viewers every time he streams. So good to have him in there. And then you had also Tanner Slays, and then you also had a guy named Giggs. It was part of the 100 Thieves content creator group right there. So cool to get that involved with as well. Might be a little bit of a little pre-site, I guess you call it, or whatever, to what organizations are going to be involved with Halo competitively moving forward. And so we had various teams here. Actually, let me see if I can find the people talk here, but basically they had each team had like one captain. Each captain kind of pick and chose which players out of the pool that they wanted. And let me see if I can find it here. I can't believe I deleted the notes here. I got to open up this link back up real quick to hopefully find it. And I deleted the rosters of every team. But basically, I can tell you who won. And it was the team led by Fear itself. And then you had, on this team, you had Snakebite, Royal 2, and Gigs. And you have the Snakebite, Royal 2 combo. Yeah, your team's pretty damn good already. Like those are two of the top 5 best Halo players right now on the same team. The cool thing is also that they actually played for a $50,000 prize pool. No matter what team you're on, you actually won some money. So congratulations to Fear itself, Snakebite, Royal 2, and Gigs for winning that event. Again, so great to see Halo reaching out to doing these kind of things. I think for at least from when I was watching, there was about anywhere from 1.5 to 3,000 people watching this event on the Twitch Rivals page, which really isn't super active, but because they mainly focus on like new games coming out. I know as soon as like Apex came out, they did a tournament through Twitch Rivals like a week later or something like that. They're super quick on this tournament kind of stuff. It's really great to see that because they bring in like a lot of top streamers coming to play the game and to get more eyes on the game. And it's super important for Halo to get involved with that kind of program. And it's from what the Twitch Rivals special, because they had Bravo and Walshy and then some other guy who was kind of involved with Twitch Rivals specifically, and they brought in Bravo and Walshy as kind of like the Halo experts to talk about the game. And the Twitch Rivals host mentioned about how they're going to look at, he mentioned about how they're planning to do more of these in the future when it comes to Halo. So I'm guessing each new release of Halo onto the MCC PC will have a Twitch Rivals event to coincide with it, which is going to be awesome. I can only imagine the people they might be able to bring in for the Halo 3 event, because that's still the best game in the franchise, Pat.
That's a funny joke, Kevin. I didn't know it was April Fool's.
But yeah, again, like having someone like Summit1G playing your game is huge. Because not only is it being played on Twitch Rivals, but also on their stream. So probably culminating all the people watching. Like during the event, actually, there was about 22,000, 25,000 people watching Halo MCC. I took a screenshot of it. I think it was even top 10 games played because of Summit1G playing the game.
Damn.
I think he had like 15 to 20,000 people watching him alone. So obviously, like I said, it's huge. These kind of events are so huge to get the more publicity for the game, get people more aware of it. I can only imagine like if you had like a Dr. Disrespect, maybe a Tim the Tatman even, or a Dr. Dupo? What's his name again? Dr. Lupo. Yeah, I'm confusing it with the DJ Duplo. Playing the game, like that would be absolutely huge for Halo. So get more eyes on it, more people aware that, hey, this awesome content is coming to PC. You should play it. How much will it cost? $10. Come on. Just do it.
Come on. $10.
Yeah. So I think it's awesome. It was really well done. I really liked how there was very minimal downtime between the games too. Because they had, since they had 4 teams, they started out with some BTB just for warm up, fun, casual gameplay. And then they did the 4v4 competitive stuff, in which they had all 4 teams playing at the same time. One was on stream, and then one was off stream. But as soon as like that one game ended, the other one would move. They would switch over to the other game. So there was always action playing. The only time I ever saw like a break happen was really just for like sponsor moment, moment from our sponsors kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I can't praise the event enough. I thought it was really well done, and they got the right people to do the commentating. They got the right people to do the production, and on the right game. That was great. I definitely want to see more of it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I don't even know what that's from, but I just know that it's a thing. I guess next, is there anything else you want to mention about Twitch Rivals, or should we move on to the next section here?
We can move on to the next section
of a Halo 5 Super Fiesta BTB update.
Yeah.
You want to go into this, Pat, or should I lead it?
No, we can get it. So there has been a update to Halo 5 With BTB and Fiesta, 9 additional maps are now available to play, including Sideswipe, a remake of Halo 3's Avalanche. The other maps besides Sideswipe that got added to Super Fiesta, which is actually featured right now in Halo 5, so it is double XP, is Recurve, Crossbow, Voyager, Fossil, Hinterlands, Meander, Panic Attack, and Pioneer. They used to ride those babies for miles. Um, SpongeBob reference for anybody in chat? Yes. So, yeah, this was actually kind of cool. I played a little bit of this refresh of BTB Fiesta with my wife last night. We had some fun, especially because I tried to take her into Halo CE Anniversary Throwback, and she was instantly raging. So she's like, "Get me out of this playlist." I was like, all right, we'll do a little, something a little more casual. So we played some of that BTB on Fiesta, and it was fun. Obviously, vehicles are like a death sentence, so don't recommend doing that.
No.
But for the most part, it did play fun. I had a lot more fun on this than I did in the refresh of BTB because I got so freaking sweaty so freaking quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's Halo 5 for you. So with that, we also want to give you guys, well, I actually ask it if you have any opinions on Super Fiesta BTB real quick before I go into the Halo 5 playlists that are available right now for featured.
I mean, it's a fun mode, just kind of jumping and have some fun.
Yeah,
it accomplishes that a little bit, actually, even maybe a little bit better than actual regular Super Fiesta, or even definitely captures that fun more than regular BTB. That's for sure.
yeah.
Right, they really do feel like ranks really just kind of killed that mode. But it's sadly. I love my BTB. It's actually might be my, especially after playing it in like Halo Reach on the fly. I'm like, yeah, I might be just back to being a BTB kid like I was in Halo 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might jump in and play a little bit of this. Obviously, like this kind of brought a lot of the refresh maps over with the one new map of the Sidewinder remake.
Yep.
Did you get a chance to play on that at all?
I did not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the map rotation doesn't exactly seem to be the best out of them all. I would hope they put that map as a more heavily rotated in because this is new content.
Sorry, but notification.
But yeah. BTB refresh for Super Fiesta. Go in, jump in, play it. It's a good time. I guess I can kind of carry on to the Halo 5 playlist update, which you'll be seeing on the 21st, which is going to be this Thursday coming around. You'll see Forerunner Slayer rotate in for Triple Team, which, woo!
Yeah.
I never really care much for these like specific type of Slayers, besides ODC Slayer. I actually really like that one.
Yeah, ODST Slayer is cool.
But like Covenant Slayer, Foreigner Slayer, don't really care much for that. If you're playing Castle Wars, I'm like, let's jump in and play.
Oh my god.
And I'm just joking. I actually don't really care. And Castle Wars is alright. It's fun if you just like do not care about what happens in the game. And you just want to do some silly stuff. Then Castle Wars is actually pretty fun. If you care about winning or getting like cool streaks, Castle Wars can be pretty.
Or not playing a 20-minute match that's so fucking boring, Yeah. But right now, that's available for obviously Halo 1 Anniversary was this weekend, so Classic Throwback is available. It isn't featured as far as the star, but I played a little bit of it last night in bed, and it was looking to be giving double XP. So there's that, and I believe Snipers is still the ranked featured playlist, so that is still double XP for all the Halo 5 152 grinders out there. Hashtag we are well on our way to 152, halfway through 149. Gonna put a big dent in it hopefully tonight.
You did say you passed me recently, actually, in the
I XP, did. I am further than you in XP now through 149.
You can thank Reach and MCC for putting a damper in that. I really kind of lost my motivation to keep playing Halo 5 after PAX, because I think after getting a chance after playing Reach at 343 before like the multiplayer fighting started for the Xbox, I'm just like, dude, I'm just ready for some new Halo experiences. So man, I just kind of lost my motivation to keep playing Halo 5. It's still fun. I still jump on it. I'll still jump on and play if like people want me to play. But on stream, I'm being kind of focusing a lot on Halo Reach, trying to get that down because I know I'm gonna be grinding that a lot when that game. That's gonna be like the game I'm gonna be playing when it comes out. Pretty much only that. But yeah, keep an eye out for that, guys. 21st, 4 Wrestler will become double XP. So for 152 grinders, that's what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
So I guess that kind of brings it to the end of the show, Pat. Another episode in the books. But Pat,
in the books.
Before we go, how can people find your content on this internet?
Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. So people can find me at the Patman Gaming, as is so lovingly put underneath my name. I'm under that handle. Under my name, I mean under me. So you can find me on that handle on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch. We do live streams Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and on the weekends, really anytime on the weekends, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on YouTube, just find me by typing in Patman Gaming into your search bar. Of course, we keep it locked to mostly Halo content with the occasional unboxing, things like that. So, yeah, I've been grinding away on YouTube, almost to 1K. We're at like 970 now, so we're getting like 15, 20 subs a week, which is good. So we should reach 1K by the end of the year at this rate. So appreciate all the support from everybody. And thank you, everybody who listens on Spotify, listens on Podbean, listens on Kevin's channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button, share it out. That really helps the podcast grow if you guys share it out on social media. So do that for us. And Kevin, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter right here, at KevinKoolx Halo. I actually need to start looking into how do I get a chance to change my Twitter handle on here, because I do know that my original Twitter handle, which was stolen, the original email account that was attached to it was stolen, and so I'm sure I'll be able to find a way to get that old Twitter handle back, but I'm gonna look into that. If you want to find me on YouTube, youtube.com/user/KevinKoolx, on the K X, because I don't care about spelling. And you can catch me on Twitch as well, at twitch.tv/KevinKoolx. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, guaranteed. I do sometimes mix in some other streams in there as well, but those are my guaranteed days that I know you'll catch me on Twitch there. And my Instagram, at KevinKoolx, I do post pretty much all daily content at this point. I might miss a day or two, or day, in between posts, but I do try to keep things up to date on there. New screenshots or memes or Twitch highlight videos, things like that. Everyone give me a follow over there. Link in the description down below. Links to all of our stuff is going to be in the description down below. Now, I do really I wanted to say something as well, but I forgot what I wanted to say.
Oh, God.
I will say that if you guys have any questions in the chat right now, for after the stream, we'll get into a little bit of a Q&A, AMA kind of thing. If you guys want to get into that, for the Twitch side of things, if you want to follow us, twitch.tv/KevinKoolx, twitch.tv/thepatmangaming, right?
Hey.
Follow our streams there to get you guys up to date whenever something like that happens, so you get the notifications. But otherwise, guys, I think that's going to wrap us for the podcast today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's play some Halo.
Are we playing some Halo Reach after this stream, guys? So stay tuned. And otherwise, guys, if you're listening, make sure you check us out on Spotify. Make sure you check us out on Podbean. Just type in Halo Outreach Podcast. You'll find us on those, guaranteed, because our name, I think, is unique enough where you don't have to worry about duplicates kind of hindering our experiences here. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.